Let's tie up one of my favorite patterns. It's the fastest sinking fly that I can think of. Let's start off here with a Hanak 450 barbless hook and a 2.5 millimeter Firehole copper slotted tungsten bead. The thread I'll be using today is going to be UTC 70 denier in olive. We'll start off here by getting our thread on the hook shank. We'll snip our tail end off. The first material we're going to be using today is going to be a Coq de Lion feather. We'll take about 6 to 8 fibers to create that tail. You're going to want the tail to be about the length of the hook shank. We'll go ahead and tie it in. When I'm tying those tailing fibers in, I like to have my thread as flat as I can get it so it captures that material. We'll work our way back up to the bead head and snip off the excess. Our next material is going to be a purple Perdigon body. Again, keeping that thread pretty flat. We'll add that material in, keeping our thread nice and flat so we can get a nice trap on that material. It's not the easiest material to work with, but I'll get it trapped in eventually. Now that I got it secured down to the hook shank, I'll work my way back to the hook bend. You don't want to go too far back with your thread. Just till you get about a thread wrap or two before the tail. And then work your way back up to the bead. I'll now work on getting a nice tapered body here. So when we lay that Perdigon body down, the body of the fly has a nice tapered look. Go ahead and wrap that Perdigon body using touching wraps. The flatter and the more even that your thread is on that hook shank, the easier it is to build that body. We'll go ahead and capture that Perdigon body down. I like to pull that Perdigon body material right up through the slot of the bead. So when I snip it off, kind of lays in that slot. Then I don't have to deal with having a little tag in there because you can't always get it flush against the hook shank. Now go ahead and give that a little bit of a whip finish. Finish off with that thread. I'm going to put a little bit of a hot spot collar on this fly. So we're going to use a orange, any orange you have. But today I'm going to use a Simplify fluorescent orange, waxed. Again, there's no real science to this hot spot collar. You can use any fluorescent orange or orange. this is just the one I prefer. Go ahead and get it tied in and snip off your tag end. You want to keep that collar pretty small. You don't want it going a quarter of the way down the fly. You want to keep it pretty thin, just to give it a little bit of flash. Make sure you get all of your olive thread or purple Perdigon body covered up so it's not showing through your orange hot spot. We'll go ahead and finish that off. Cut off your excess. Here's for the fun part. To make a little wing case, I like to use black UV resin, put a little dab of it on, and then zap it with your UV light. Now we're going to put on some thin UV resin, clear. Not only will this strengthen the fly, it really gives it a slender body to get down to the depths of the water that you want to be at. I'll go ahead and spread it out here with my bodkin. Give it a nice, even, tapered look. Then we'll go ahead and zap that, harden it up after you get it to how you like it. And that's the Perdigon. You can tie Perdigons in multiple colors, but my favorite is this purple with an orange hot spot. It always catches me fish on days that I'm struggling. Or it's a great searching pattern under an indicator when you're working with faster moving waters or in a deep pool that you want to get down into the pool as fast as you can. Thanks guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos, and like it if you've learned something, and give me a comment on any questions or comments that you have about the fly and or what other flies you would like to see in the future. Fish hard.